What's up? Next level. Okay. Shut up. Where was he walking to?
This woman's certainly seen better days.
Hey, what's up, Valkyria?
You deserve such a fate.
Thank you.
Not the most peaceful way to go, but her pain is ended.
Nice, yeah. Bonestorm was my favorite build from 0.1, and I didn't want to revisit it because in 0.1 I played it with Snake Pit, and Snake Pit was too expensive, but I got a Snake Pit drop yesterday, so I figured, why not? Let's revisit Bonestorm finally. Yeah, Bonestorm was probably my favorite build from 0.1. I love Bonestorm. Yeah, I was torn between doing it on, I did Bonestorm on 2 classes last patch, 0.1. I did it on Blood Mage and a Pathfinder. And I almost did it on a Blood Mage, too. I almost did it on Blood Mage. But I already have, 2 Witches leveled, and I haven't leveled a, Ranger yet, so... That's the only reason I picked Pathfinder over Blood Mage. Yeah, Bonestorm's awesome. Yeah, after playing it with Snake Pit all of 0.1, I was like, well, there's no way I can enjoy Bonestorm without Snake Pit, so I just, like, haven't revisited it yet, and I just got lucky and got one yesterday, so... Figure it was time. Revisit. It's a fun build. It sucks that snake pit is so expensive. That's cool, that's still good without it. Yeah, there's a lot of new uniques that pair really well with Bonestorm now. I'm using these gloves here, which are awesome. They've, like, Bonestorm's biggest problem last patch was its mana cost, and it's, like, mana regen. And this, like, while leveling at least, has been freaking awesome. And then there's this ring, too, which just gives you a lot of spell crit pretty easily. And, yeah. I don't know, Bonestorm's awesome, so. I would have probably visited Bonestorm soon anyway without the snake pit like you're doing. I just happened to get real lucky.
So much ash.
I think Bonestorm could be good on Lich too, but I also already have a Lich. I gotta get the relic still.
If I ever see another necromancer, it'll be too soon.
Yep. Is just to go really fast. I hate how slow you go when you're casting Bonestorm. You're better off playing it on a Blood Mage or a Lich if you care more about damage and stuff, and survivability too. Both will be way tankier and do way more damage. But I like going fast. There's an exploit you can do with Bonestorm. I'll show you it now, where you you can, it's not an exploit, but it's like a bug where if you release and let go, you can still maintain the full movement speed while holding the spell, but that's clearly a bug. And I don't like abusing bugs, so. Yeah, Deadeye's cool too. Yeah. The 6 extra passive points or whatever, and then the immunity to freeze or shock is also nice, you know. But yeah, I just like going really fast like this. It's nice. Trying to get the relic. I didn't get it right. Yeah. I gotta go get back my other spirit. I was speedrunning the campaign. I was practicing a speedrun of the campaign when I was leveling this character to just practice for the racing events, and I didn't get the spirit, and I haven't gone back for it yet. But I don't really need the spirit. The only spirit I needed was for combat frenzy, so I could get the pin charges. I'll get the other spirit stuff later. We zooming now.
Valley is not natural. It's
Yeah, I'm not sure why they did that to bottle builds. Okay, 3% more move speed, and then we can level up the skill gem.
chose this as their burial place.
Send it, man. Bonestorm Blood Mage is awesome. Bonestorm Blood Mage was my first build I killed +4 Arbiter on last patch. Blood Mage is great for Bonestorm, man. Crit is huge for Bonestorm builds. And Blood Mage is just super tanky on top of it, so. Excuse me.
Sensed it too, did you? The spirit is near. Right, people, don't lose sight of it.
I get the feeling that I am not welcome here.
Die, bastard. Four levels below boss. Should be fine. Ain't no thing. I hate the targeting in this game sometimes. They have to fix this shit. Like, why does it not go to where my mouse is pointing 100% of the time? Like, what is this auto-lock bullshit that they've set up? Like, I understand why it's in there for keyboard or for controllers, but, like, I'm using a fucking mouse. The auto-lock in this game is whack. It's really noticeable on skills like Rake and Bonestorm too, where you're just like going a direction you're not even clicking, like your mouse will be to the far left and you'll be going right because it's like auto-locking onto something.
Slaves? The Marraketh really are a brutal... You can't hide forever, Jaman Ra.
Need to hurry up and get to Dreadnought. Dreadnought's so fun with Bonestorm.
A city of the dead. Why not just bury them and be done with it?
Okay, move speed's done there. I could get physical damage here. I think I'm just gonna go for this crit stuff though. There's up Dapper.
Never a fan of heights. Best not look down.
Yep, I use it for everything. Bossing and clear. No, I got Snake Pit. Are you generating power charges for it? This is the setup I ran in 0.1. I don't know if there's a different setup people are using now in Bonestorm builds. Jesus. I'm being a goon. But I run Combat Frenzy, which gain a charge, a frenzy charge when you freeze, electrocute, and pin. I am using Bushwhack Lizard Scale Boots, which physical damage is pinning, Bonestorm is physical damage. And then I have Resonance, which converts my charges. And lets me do the Bonestorm. I don't know. I keep getting like a bunch of questions like, why aren't you doing this? Are you thinking about doing this? Are you doing that? Like, I just literally started the character and started leveling. I have not thought anything through. I don't think that far ahead. I'm just leveling through the campaign right now. I haven't cared about extracting impales because I am doing just fine in the campaign right now. Don't need to worry about it. But yeah, I don't really bother thinking that far ahead. Too boring. I just go. How's Bonestorm feeling? I mean, I'm using a 15 divine item. When using that 15 divine item, it feels great. But it feels the exact same it felt in 0.1, you know? I don't know if you ever played Bonestorm in 0.1, but the 15 divine item I'm using right now was 1 Exalt last patch, so... It's like the exact same build as before, at least leveling-wise. But you don't... Like, you wouldn't have the big AoE without the Snake Pit, unfortunately. Are you going to make a guide, sir? I don't know yet. I don't want to, because it requires... Well, it doesn't require Snake Pit, but I'm using Snake Pit, and it's expensive. Just check Snake Pit is 23 divines right now. That sucks. Yeah, it was 1 Exalt last patch. I usually try and only do budget builds, but this was my favorite build last patch, so I just wanted to do it again. So I don't know if I'll make a guide. I might, but yeah. You don't have to have Snake Pit for Bonestorm. I think Ray has a Bonestorm build where he's not using Snake Pit. But you can't only use Bonestorm for mapping if you don't have Snake Pit. You have to use like another mapping skill. What's the skill? It's called Bonestorm. This is one of my favorite builds is from 0.1. I did it on a Pathfinder and a Blood Mage, and now I'm doing it again on a Pathfinder. You don't go slow when you're casting. Bonestorm has a heavy move speed penalty, and I don't like it. Yeah. It's really just the quality of life. If you're like someone who's like a numbers guy, like a min-maxer brain, you know, you only care about maximum DPS, then Blood Mage or Lich are probably better for this, but 20 is crazy for Snake Pit. Yeah, it sucks. It was a 1 Exalt item last patch. In 0.1, it was just the cheapest fucking item. And now it's just super expensive. Sucks. It wasn't even 1 divine. It was cheaper than 1 divine last patch. Like it was a 1 Exalt item. It was really easy to chance orb too. It was like super cheap. But you only need Snake Pit if you want to only use Bonestorm. The Snake Pit's not good. Like the Snake Pit doesn't matter for bossing. The Snake Pit's for mapping, so if you like want to use Bone Cage for mapping, then you're fine to play Bonestorm without Snake Pit. But the Snake Pit makes it to where you only have to use Bonestorm. What level can I use? 58. What build make it that expensive? I don't know. I think I heard it was EDCon early on that made it expensive, but EDCon's not like super popular now, so I don't know what it is that's making it expensive now. To be honest, I have no idea why it's so costly. It sucks. Yeah, man, I love Bonestorm. It's so fun. It is just very satisfying, like you said. So I'm going to scoop this here, then might scoop that. Then we have this point here. I could scoop this. We might anoint out of this and take this, and then anoint cooked instead, but we might anoint something else. I'm just kind of freestyling right now. Get the jewel socket, get more energy shield too. It went to a tier 1 drop rate, I think. What does that mean? Can you put that into like a new brain terms? Is tier 1 drop rate like, is that like only drops off pinnacle bosses or something? What does that mean? Oh, Frostbolt build? Just way more rare, gotcha. Did you drop it, chance it yourself? No. I was farming for Chernobog, and I had like 24 divine yesterday, and I bought one for 15. But I just farmed a bunch of divine yesterday. I did 3 or 4 citadels, and I got a boots that sold for 10 divine. I think I still got like a bunch of divine left over right now, but I was like, ah, let's just do Bonestorm. But I grinded all day. T5 is most common. T1 is super rare. Gotcha. I wonder, I mean, I guess, like, Snake Pit is kind of an insane effect, to be honest, so I get why they moved it to tier 1. I wish it was maybe, like, a tier 2. Just slightly more common. Because it shouldn't be a 15. Like, it's so good for Bonestorm, but I get it. It's cracked. It's kind of a nutty effect. And there's going to be so many more skills that get added over time that just get enabled by Snake Pit. That, like, yeah, I get it. Maybe it does need to be tier 1. It's really good. Yeah, it's a very unique effect, and like just knowing how many skills can get amplified by it over time, that like yeah. We were spoiled in 0.1 by it being a tier you know, the highest drop rate. Yeah, last patch, my Bonestorm character, like I leveled 3 different characters with Bonestorm because it was so fun, and then I played 2 characters in endgame with Bonestorm. Bonestorm was my first build that I cleared +4 Arbiter on. Like, I love this build. It's very fun. It's a good time. Oh. And I think I heard it got fixed in this patch, but before you could, like, even though it said it couldn't chain, you could still chain it with Ricochet off the ground. So, like, you could multi-clear screens with it last patch, but I heard it got fixed. I think you should be running Deepest Tower on bossing no matter what with Bonestorm. Like, if you're at, like, doing Pinnacle content, you would take off at Xeres and run Deepest Tower for Pinnacle content. I don't know, I hate Trample Toe. I think it's just like one of the most boring fucking uniques in the game. Like, I don't care how good it is. I just like, I used it once last patch and I was like, wow. When you're running Trample Toe, your build is not a build anymore, it's a Trample Toe build. Like, it doesn't matter what skill you use with Trample Toe. Once you start using Trample Toe, it just kind of like... It's a Trample Toe build in my mind. I just find it, I don't know. To me, Trample Toe is very unappealing. But that does sound awesome. I'm not saying it's bad. And that you shouldn't enjoy doing it. Yeah, it does. Yeah, that's a good way of phrasing it. It changes the build identity. That's a very good way of phrasing it. That's why I don't like Trample Toe. But Trample Toe is, like, huge. That sounds really cool. Yeah, if you can get your defenses high enough, especially if you're running Blood Mage, right? Like, I have to run at Xeres, because right now I'm taking this awkward Pathfinder route, maybe at a higher level. I don't have to use it Xeres, I can get more energy shield from the tree, but... As a Blood Mage or a Lich, I imagine you don't need it Xeres, so you could just run Deepest Tower at all times.
The hooded one's sway. Do you even know what he is?
Nope.
No matter. You'll find my king far more capable than Count Gianor. My king, take the power you were promised.
What is the beast? What is this? Is this little noodle arms and this big skull? It's so weird playing range spells after playing so much Thorns this patch. I feel the need to always be next to the boss. And I don't really ever have to be.
We're running out of time. End this.
Shines, bend to my will, impede my enemies. I couldn't see what he was doing. His animation bugged out there. I got hit despite his animation bugging out. The pin fucked him up, I think. That was weird. Yeah. Not sure what to do about the impales. Figure that out when we get to end game. Let's just get 60 right now. Maybe even like 78 before I figure all that out. Hey, what's up, Evil Stir?
This is not over.
Yeah, exactly,
Not
fam.
yet.
Just bad habits from playing like 8 Thorns characters this league.
It is done. The war.
Oh, Pathfinder too. I love these boss fights, man. Like Jamin Raw specifically might be my favorite boss fight in the game. It has the coolest mechanics. It's got the coolest, like, everything to it. Might be my favorite fight. Right on, Evil Stir, yeah. I don't know how late I'm streaming tonight. It was just kind of a spontaneous before I go to bed stream.
Yes.
Oh, did I not talk to him? Crap. I like these gloves. They make mana a non-issue.
It was I who created the beast.
Can't do that corner click anymore. Rip.
Only what you're going to do about it.
It's also having more than having more than 30% move speed for once. I don't necessarily dislike Arbiter, especially after like playing Diablo 4 with Lilith. Like comparing Arbiter and Lilith, it's just like completely different. Like Arbiter's so much better than Lilith. But I agree, Arbiter's probably is probably the weakest of the pinnacle fights.
First a barren desert, now a festering swamp. Oh, how I miss
Yeah, maybe the weakest pinnacle fight. I don't know, King of the Mist kind of sucks. I think King of the Mist is really boring. I try and do Arbiter a few times every league, but I don't have much drive to try him because of how expensive he is. Like, I would do Arbiter on all my builds, but it ain't worth it, man. Expedition boss is fun. I just never get logbooks and never get to do them. I like Doriani. He's just a struggle for Thorns because a lot of his shots hit too hard in his second phase. I don't know, like, all the boss fights and, like, even the worst boss fights in this game are better than most ARPG's bosses, so. I love this game's bosses. I wouldn't say I'm normally a reroller, Andy. Like, I would love to sit here, like, if I could, like, go into a league and, like, spend the first month on one character, I would. It's just there's not... You can't do that in this game right now. If you spend more than a week on a character, with how much I play at least, or how fast I get to endgame, like... You're not really... Like, you're just grinding at that point. The character is 90 within a week, and then the build doesn't really change, so... When the build stops changing is usually when I reroll. Unless, like, the build is just so fun and I'm currency farming. Which is what I do with my rich list. Why my rich list is almost 95.
give the hives a wide berth.
You ain't gonna get me to play a Firestorm build.
I suppose I should talk to Alva about this.
Oh, Firestorm's so damn boring to me. I don't know. I don't like any builds like that. I don't like Firestorm. I don't like Casson builds. They've never been appealing to me for whatever reason. I have to be doing something. Will you play Expedition 33? I don't know. Everyone's gassing it up. I haven't enjoyed a JRPG in a long time, though. I heard a lot of people are liking Siege Cascade. I swapped, I did Artillery Ballista, and I wasn't enjoying Artillery Ballista this time around. And I ended up re-rolling off of my Tactician before the Siege Cascade meta took off. But I heard a lot of people like Siege Cascade. Hey man, that's what's most fun though, Root, is when it's all your own. I want to do Bog right now. I'd even do Bog on the normal playthrough. We'll get the waste though, but... Pass. Yeah, I'm starting a new series on my channel soon where I'm interviewing build makers, and some of the questions I ask are like, what do you get out of the what's the enjoyment you find in build making? And a lot of it for me is just like you said, it's all that tinkering you do, and then at some point that tinkering, like, something clicks and the build just gets a massive power spike, and it's like, then you coast for like 5 to 10 levels, and it's like, oh yeah. Those feelings in your build where the tinkering, it's just these micro adjustments, and then when all the micro adjustments hit at once and they're like sync, just boom. Yeah, I don't know when episode 1's coming out, but I'm interviewing Jorgen for the first episode. And my goal is to like just interview as many different build makers as possible, because it doesn't just like hopefully encourages more people to get into build making, but it will like everyone does build making differently, right? Like, some people use PoE Ninja. Some people use Path of Building. Some people, they, like, pick an item That's like their favorite, or pick a unique that's their favorite unique, and they'll like, well, what works with this unique, or they'll pick a skill, right? Like everyone's got different approaches, and yeah, that's the point of the series. I'm just gonna interview as many people as possible that do build making. But it won't be like a podcast series. It's like I'm gonna interview him off stream. There won't be any. I won't be streaming it. Like if the streamer I'm interviewing wants to stream it, whatever. I don't care. But like, it'll be like those docu-series, you know, where it's like there's like a narrator who's like talking about the subject, and then there's like edits of the interviewer talking and explaining what the narrator just went over. So it's gonna be, it's not like it's gonna be a podcast where me and Jorgen are sitting there rambling for 45 minutes on webcam, right? It's like is an edited series where I'm taking a 45-minute interview and like editing it down to a digestible 10 to 15 minute like showcase on what makes that specific build maker tick. And like the entire, each episode is not like directly about build making, but it's about the build maker. Like every episode will be slightly different based off the tone of the conversation, or who, like, you know, however the conversation goes. You know, it's an interview that's going to show off Jorgen as the build maker and why he enjoys build making. What makes it, like, you know, just everything like that. And then I'll interview as many people as I can that are down. Because it's not just, like, to show off for you guys. Like, I want to learn, too, right? I'm a new build maker. And the best way I can learn is if I'm talking to these guys and, like, so what do you do? Like, what is your process? Like, where do you start from point A? Like, where like, you know, when do you consider a build done? What are your check marks, you know? What are these little breakpoints and thresholds you yourself set yourself to? Things like that, you know? Gives everyone just a slightly different perspective. Because obviously, like, someone like me and someone like Jungron are going to have different standards for builds, right? Like, we're going to want different things. And then Jungron's gonna play completely differently from, you know, someone like Maltho, right? Like, everyone's different. Excuse me, you were pinned and you still flew off. I think most build makers don't care if their build gets nerfed, but maybe that's just because that's my perspective. If my build gets nerfed, I don't give a fuck. I just go to the next build. If GGG thinks my build's a problem, like, if my build gets nerfed, you know what that means? GGG said, fuck, this guy just broke our game. That's like a compliment. Like, my build getting nerfed is not like a, oh, drat, GGG's trying to ruin my fun. It's like, I got you there, GGG. You didn't like what I was doing. Eh, I got you. I got you. Like, to me, if you get your build nerfed, if you get a build adjusted, that ain't a bad thing. That's fucking cool. That means you pissed GGG off. That means you did something they did not intend for you to do. That is impressive. Well, The bottles is different. That wasn't a nerf, that was a rework. That's different. I don't know if GGG intended for that rework to have that much of a cataclysmic effect. Because I imagine it's going to get buffed back up. I just don't think they understood how much was being lost with that change for the no martial weapon or whatever.
This mechanism.
She's friendly. A bit too. As I expected.
Like, that, I feel like I kind of caused that with Arctic Armor, right? What is it? Do I have a Spirit Gem on me? I don't. GGG featured my Arctic Armor Plague, Poison build last patch, right? In 0.2, they made it to where Herald of Plague and a bunch of Heralds don't work with, wands now. You have to have a martial weapon. Or was it, no, it was with spells or attack skills. What was the change they did? They changed my Arctic Armor build to where it doesn't work this patch anymore. And I'm going to assume, egotistically, that it was me that did it. No one can tell me otherwise. Wasn't all the other Herald builds. Agreed. Martial weapons with Heralds is... I think it was an emergency bandage fix. I don't know, though. I don't like it. Maybe some specific Heralds, sure. Like, if you wanted to be, like, Herald of Ash or something, but, like... I don't know. I'm not a fan either. I mean, Trample Toe is a problem. I'm surprised Trample Toe survived 0.1. It was a insane problem in 0.1, and then still now it's a problem. Trample Toe is too good. Yep. How many spikes he's got? I would imagine they do, but I haven't tried them. Right now I'm trying out these new gloves that make you have crazy mana regen after you crit. Oh yeah, I can't wait for the purple ball nerf. Oh my god. And whatever else is getting nerfed, because they said other outliers are getting nerfed. Like they're in my mind. I die to, if I had like a log of my all of my deaths, 90% of them would be to the same exact stuff. And I'm hopeful that like all of the things that I'm like, oh, this mob's so, there are very specific mobs or boss types that I either avoid, or when I know they're in the map, I pucker up and I have to be like extra focused. And I just hope all of those mobs are getting changed.
Trust this thing. Best keep moving.
They said there was other outliers. That was just clearly the worst one. Oh yeah, those desync rerolls. Yeah, those fucking suck. I hate navigating this place so damn much. I guess I should have gone up here, it looks like. Like, Act 3 is just so trash. Way less polished, I feel, on its layouts than Act 1 and Act 2. I feel like I can blast through Act 1 and Act 2 in, like, an hour and a half, and then Act 3 takes the same amount of time. Yeah, Act 3 is definitely, yes, Act 3 is definitely way better, but still ain't there for me. Yeah, Trample Toe's the overkill unique, but I'm not ever gonna use it. It's boring. I don't do Trample Toe builds. I shouldn't say it's boring, so I don't want to insult people who enjoy using that unique. But I don't like unique builds like that. Like, I'm sure I'll do it one day if I did like a meme version, like if I was only using Arctic Armor to clear, but yeah, I don't know. There are a lot more fun uniques than that one. Like, I'm not gonna go out of my way to do a Trample Toe build. You know? There's so many really cool uniques that I still haven't played with. Well, then, of course, you have this waypoint problem here where you can teleport to the front and then you gotta wait for this laser to get here or whatever. I mean, I'm sure over time there will be more fire spells that get added to the game, but freezing is not very good right now. Like, freezing doesn't add much to your builds. Why freeze the boss when you can just kill it faster? Every blue flame build I've wanted to do, I've already done. We need more skills, but I don't know. Freeze just is not in the, like... Freeze was good in 0.1, but then it got nerfed, and 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 then it got nerfed. Like, I don't know. There's not much reason to do a freeze build right now unless you're playing hardcore. And I don't play hardcore. Like, the only blue flame build I'm interested in was my ballista build, right? I guess. But more spells that freeze need to get added over time. We got druid spells. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of elemental druid spells that freeze. Templar spells. We got a whole other sorcerer's ascendancy we're missing. I'm sure a lot of the rogue stuff, or excuse me, shadow stuff will freeze. Or do fire stuff. They didn't nerf the blue flame bracers. They nerfed freeze like 50 times. Hey, Rook, later, man. Have a good one. It's just like there's not much reason to go freeze. You know? Like, it's good in the ballista build to an extent, right? But there's also just like a bunch of other gloves that like give you way more damage. You would need like something that's like when the target is frozen, it takes more damage for like freeze to gain like more popularity, in my opinion. Like Blue Flame is super cool, but I've already done Blue Flame Ballista, and that's still like the only thing that would really make sense. Yeah, exactly. Ignite just didn't get buffed. They just kept nerfing Shock and Freeze until Shock and Freeze were in line with Ignite. And now, I mean, both are probably... But Shock's probably still better than Ignite in most situations, maybe. But Freeze, I don't know. But that's because just like so many builds were abusing Freeze and Shock last patch. Like, so much of the meta was around Herald of Lice, Herald of Thunder, and just like stacking as much Freeze. Like, and if you forget, the initial Freeze was crazy. You could there was no cooldown on it. There was no diminishing return on it, rather. You could just like chain Freeze shit if you had enough cold damage and Freeze build up. Yeah. Also, the other thing with Blue Flame is you have Painter's Gloves, right? Painter's Gloves will scale up the damage if you have it corrupted, right? Like, it'll actually increase your elemental damage, but a corrupted Blue Flame, so if you have Blue Flame at like 120% fire to cold damage conversion, that doesn't scale the damage up at all. So, like, maybe if Blue Flame scaled the damage up, then, like, it would be slightly better, but I don't know, Freeze is more of a hardcore thing, I feel. But even then, don't most hardcore players just try and one-shot everything? The only reason you would, like, I think you, like, maybe you would do Blue Flame on, like, a weird cast on Freeze build where you're doing a fire spell as your core, but... What is the idea behind this character? Bonestorm.
Barely broke a sweat.
The goal is to hold left click and then let go of left click. And we're going to do that over and over. Look at this. Yeah. We Bonestorming. Well, then you definitely shouldn't play Bonestorm. Yep, we zoom in with the Pathfinder. I hate Waterways so much. Whoever designed this shit, you're just an ass. There is no amount of tinkering to Waterways that will make me like it. Delete it from the game. Just delete the whole way out. Remove the quest for it. We can skip Waterways. You just get the fucking soul core and you put it in town and then GG, you move on. I hate you, Waterways. It still feels so damn long. Yeah, and I leveled 13 characters the end game in 0.1. Like, old Waterways was just... Most of the time, when I was leveling a character, anytime I got to Waterways, it was like, alright, we're gonna take a break. I'll play again tomorrow when I'm mentally prepared for Waterways. I don't think I'm going evasion. Evasion sucks this patch. They nerfed evasion too hard. Yeah, it's a lot of backtracking, and sometimes it's confusing on where you're going. Like, you'll pull a lever, like, way the fuck over here, and it'll, like, lower the water, like, 3 paths over. It's like, huh? Yeah, there's everything about Waterways is just like goof. Like, just delete it. Don't even salvage it. Get rid of it. Don't let anyone suffer through Waterways again. Freedom!
So this is what the Val were capable of.
Until next time.
Nature has reclaimed the city. this is what I could smell. How repulsive.
Give me that spirit jab. Can I use level 14 yet? Not yet. 58, I'm 57. Oh, I'm about to level up. Cool. This is the cauldron? Okay. I don't know, did you hear what I said in the video? I said it's people with +3 that are saying it's bugged. I only have +2. Has nothing to do with me being sure. I don't have a +3. And I also said in the video, plenty of people said it seemed fine to them, so. I don't know. I have no idea. I've had a couple people comment that the +3 is bugged for them, and then I've had a couple people comment that it's not bugged for them. Anytime someone says it's bugged, I assume they don't know what they're talking about. Like, I'm not saying you guys specifically are dumb, but most of the people that comment and say stuff are just talking out of their ass. I'll get people that say, hey, why aren't you using this? And I'm like, well, why should I use them? They're like, oh, I don't know. And it's just like stuff like that, you know? Or it's just like, yeah, I don't think it's working. And it's like, what do you mean? Did you go test it on the boss? And they're like, no. So it's just like, I just assume. Like, I always say that just in case, but I assumed it was working. The tooltip's fine? The tooltip's fine for the +2 as well. You get the damage increase, so. But, like, I don't know if, like, it's so hard to, like, sit there and test on the boss if it's mathematically working. Like, I'm not buying, like, I don't care enough to do that, you know? But, yeah. In my next Thorns video, I'll mention that you said it's fine. How much is the +3 right now? Has anyone bought one recently? I've just been using the same +2 I've had since, like, week 1. You will never get this. Yesterday was 25 div. Day before was 22. Not bad.
This should grant us access.
I'd say for that, this late into the league, that's about what I would expect, I guess, for a +3 of it. Especially since Thorn has grown in popularity. time is it? 2:30. Alright. Let's see if I can clear Act 3 before I'm gonna go to bed. Can I clear Act 3 in 30 minutes-ish? Yeah, maybe. What's my fire res at? 56%? Oh, I'm fine. My chaos res at, though?
The light.
23, yeah, I'm fine. As long as I don't die, I should be good to clear Act 3. Then that means when I stream tomorrow, we can level some mapping. Woo! Can't read chat while doing this part. Walk right into that. Yeah. Playing a build like Bonestorm makes me miss the brain offness of my Thorns builds. How the fuck do I get there? Yeah, good Thorns enchant items are really hard to get. I've been using the same shield on the last, like all my Thorns characters. And I think my shield only has like a 43% Thorns roll on it. Not even a 50% roll. I think my body armor is a 49%. I'm cheap though. I think after this character, I might do the Thorns Titan to try and see if I can clear +4 Arbiter, but I don't know. I might be Thorns out until 0.3. I just don't know what I'm going to do next after the Bonestorm character. Like, am I at a break point where it's like, well, I might be having to chill until 0.3, but I don't think so, because 0.3 still feels so far away. I just don't know what builds I want to play now. Maybe another minion build. Maybe I do some silly shit.
You can't kill what you can't touch.
Oh! Shut up. I don't know if I'm gonna play PoE 1. I'm iffy on it.
These runes. I can make out symbols for blood.
I did not enjoy playing in the Pox League.
Wait, no. It's not a blood offering, it's someone of Val blood. Perhaps if I...
After my PoE 1 break and then playing so much PoE 2, the Pox League did not feel fun to me. That's the wrong word to use, but it was not as... I don't know. There's a lot about PoE 2 that I enjoy that's not in PoE 1. And there's a lot of friction in the campaign that I just really hate from PoE 1 for me. So I don't know if I'll be playing 3.26. I'm going to be scouting for Thorns uniques to see if GGG is going to be adding Thorns support to PoE 1. And if they do that at any point, I'll definitely dive straight into PoE 1. But right now, I just don't know.
Are these living Val? In the flesh? Hello?
I would say there's like a 33% chance. It's not a hard no. Maybe I just go play a fun Cyclone build. I just need to see what the league is about, I guess. There's something like... There's just so much about PoE 2 quality of life-wise. It's not even about WASD. I'm sure I could go back to click the move in PoE 1 and be fine. But the whole campaign experience to me, like, I'm not someone who ever mastered the PoE 1 campaign. Even when I was playing PoE 1 every single league, my campaign clears were always slow. I just, like, I hate the friction of the campaign. I don't know, like, PoE 2, I can just churn through characters so fast, and it's such a positive environment for build testing. You can respec so many times. If I brick the build, it's not the end of the character. I have so much gold, and I know they added gold respecs in PoE 1, but the rates were really bad. So, again, I'm not saying hard no to PoE 1. If I play, I'm going to play either a Thorns build if they add Thorn support or Cyclone. And those are like two things I'd be excited to do in PoE 1. Like, I would love to play Cyclone right now, not going to lie. Like, that alone might get me excited to play PoE 1. But, I don't know. I'm just not super hyped for it right now. Like, it's not... I am hyped. I'm not as hyped as I was hoping I would be, though, I guess is the way to phrase it. There's just something about it that hasn't, like... No, they haven't announced anything for it. We don't even know the name of the league yet. We know nothing. We know absolutely nothing, so... I think the problem is that my brain is a bit skewed because of the last thing they just did. What was it, Legacy of Pharisha, the little meme event they did? That was, like, my brain is, like, for some reason, expecting something along those lines again. Like, just some quick churn type thing, and not, like, an actual full-blown league. And then maybe that's why my expectations are low. But whenever I see the announcement, maybe, like, my entire perspective is changed. I've become friendly with a lot of PoE 1 build makers, and I would love to, like, sit down with, like, Locahall and, like, have him walk me through, like, what I should do for a PoE 1 build, and, like, have him help me set up my first, like, Cyclone build that I made or something, you know? You know, there's definitely opportunity to play PoE 1, but I would put it at, like, 33% chance I play. But that might change to a 100% chance the moment I see the trailer. I don't think I leveled up my gem. Nice. Mid-fight damage up. Yeah, it just depends on what it's on par with. Drop the gate. Like, right now, yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to go in with negative expectations. So maybe I shouldn't put it at a 33%. Maybe I should put it at a 50% chance. I got to see the announcement. They usually reveal a lot of uniques and stuff for these leagues. You know, maybe the success of, like, I have, like, this weird hope that the success of Thorns in PoE 2 is going to lead to them adding Thorn support in PoE 1. So, like, I'm always going to be on the lookout for a new PoE 1 league that's going to add Thorn support finally. But maybe, you know, I just go in with one of my old Cyclone builds. And do my first attempt at building my own PoE 1 Cyclone build, you know? Who knows? It could be fun. Right now, all that's been teased is lore, and I, like, for some reason, I normally love lore in, like, all games, but for some reason, in any ARPG, lore just fucking never appeals to me. I think it's probably because, like, the game is designed for you just to hold W, like, a whole W, and you're just blasting the entire time. You're, like, going forward, and you're not supposed to stop and listen. Because, that's, yeah. Maybe that's the problem. Still gotta get the heart. I have taken a sizable PoE 1 break, so if I actually dove back into PoE 1, there would be a lot of fresh content that I would get to experience, and then a lot of content that I have forgotten that I would get to re-experience. So, playing PoE 1 would be a good experience for me. It's just, I don't know why. Like, the campaign to me is just like, I hate PoE 1's campaign. It is just so, like, it's got too much. I don't know if it's weird to say that with the PoE 2 campaign being as long as it is, but I think it's the gearing and the gemming that I hate the most about the PoE 1 leveling experience. Like, I really like this socket setup more than the gearing setup that PoE 1 has. It makes the leveling much better. I don't like the one socket per. My first PoE build was EDCon, but the most played build across any ARPG for me is Cyclone. I'm just kind of doing shit right now. This will probably look way different. Yeah, I really miss Cyclone. Even just talking about Cyclone makes me want to go play it again. It's been so long since I've played a Cyclone build. And, for some reason, I feel like Swords is going to be one of the last things we get. Oh, it's gonna have Cyclone. I'm just what I meant to say was I got distracted by playing the game. Cyclone's gonna be swords are gonna be the last item to get added. Like Cyclone's coming with swords. I think swords is gonna be the last class we get. Yeah, so it's definitely swords. It's 1000% swords. We've got footage of it being swords in like the early access launch footage or whatever, or pre-early access footage. I just think Sword is going to be the last thing we get. We're going to get Druid and Flails and Templar and Daggers and Fist Weapons and all that before Swords is my prediction. So it's just going to be a while.
Away with you! I've killed before. You don't do it again.
No, you won't.
I'm going down without a fight.
Blah. Like, for some reason, my guess is, like, Druid and Templar are next. Maybe Shadow, but for some reason, I'm expecting Swords to come later. I would be hyped if Swords were soon, though. But I imagine that's, like, 2 to 3 patches away, at least. For me.
Ignition. Sacrifice is the only path to survival.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense, given your perspective. But why'd you lose?
I can't give up. I must save my people.
You know why we're here. It happened.
It cannot be stopped.
I will succeed. I cannot let my efforts be in vain. One death is nothing for the greater good.
I hate the auto-aim locking sometimes. And whoa! Wasn't expecting the butt attack already.
Let's see you survive this. I plan for every contingency. Self-destruction. This is not over yet. I cannot. The end of the world is nigh. Face the might of the wild. No! Do not fail me. Not now. How could this happen? All I've done. All that I sacrificed.
Your people cannot be
I would not be surprised if 0.3 had 2 new classes,
Come with us and help
because
save the future.
0.2 wasn't a league. 0.2 was just a patch, but it wasn't like a league start. It wasn't like a traditional league with a whole new mechanic and a bunch of new stuff going
Let's
on.
just start talking then.
0.3 will be a league, and for some reason, I feel like they're going to want to make 0.3 like a cracked ass patch.
There isn't
So will you?
but I will come
It's
to
settled.
Like, it's gonna have extra content. So, like, while I originally thought that, like, it would be, like, one class, like you said, then it would be, like, one class and then a couple of new ascendancies sprinkled in, but I think for some reason, 0.3, especially with the negative reception that 0.2 had, they're going, like, if they had 2 classes ready, they would release 2 classes. Like, they're gonna release Druid and Templar or Druid and Shadow, if they had it ready. That's my guess right now. But I wouldn't, like, but also, you're, like, that's probably the smart way to go about it, is what you said, is just, like, 1 per patch. But especially, like, you know how Mark said there's, like, a 50% chance, not Mark, I think it was Jonathan. Jonathan said there's a 50% chance, or close to 50% chance, the 1.0 happens this year. If that was even, like, I don't think that's true. There's no way it's releasing this year, right? But if it was at some point to be reasonably close to releasing this year, then at some point a patch would have to drop 2 classes. Because at the release cadence they have planned, they wouldn't have been able to release 1 class per patch to have a full release by the end of the year with all classes. So if that was if a release this year is happening, one patch has to have at least 2 classes. Yeah, it's only if they ramp up the release schedule, and that release schedule would not be taking into account the normal cadence for leagues that GGG normally operates under, which is what, like 3 months or whatever? I don't know the normal cadence, but it would be faster than that. So they would have to ramp in one way or another. Oh, they already said there won't be all classes on release. Then GGG does themselves no favors by talking the way they talk. I'm going to go ahead and say that. They got some goofy ball ass ways of talking. What do you mean 1.0 is not going to have all the classes? And why the fuck are you even calling it 1.0? If they don't have all the ascendancies, that's different. But if all the base classes weren't in, that's weird to me.
So, you've come to
Indeed.
Oh no, Jonathan's great. I wouldn't go that far. The Jonathan hate is way blown out of control. 90% of what Jonathan says is fucking awesome. And project managing is insanely difficult to do, especially with game development. Like, it's very easy to overestimate or underestimate your timelines and stuff. You think Axe will stay the same until 1.0? I don't think so. If we don't get Act 4, 5, and 6 by 1.0, I think that's crazy. I mean, that's just kind of their dynamic, though. That's like, and Mark's supposed to get carried away. He's the game director. The fuck? Oh, I've got to do it from in there. You show me a game director that's not getting carried away. That guy's probably not a good game director. Like, they're not marketing people. They're not people who are going to be the best interviews, but that's not the point, you know? You don't want those kind of people doing those interviews. That's what happens with Blizzard's interviews. They have these bozos in suits that are like, you know, and that's why their campfire chats are dog ass. Mark and Jonathan are real functioning human beings. What do I need to do? Oh, I gotta go to the refuge, and then you have to do your first map from down here. Sadly, flails. I imagine flails being dual-wielded sounds interesting. But I don't see that being possible, you're right. Oh, I see Colubrimbor. Colubrimbor. I'm not sure on that one. Maybe. I feel like they will want to, because when, like, Acts 4, 5, and 6, they add double the game's bosses. Kulu's enough? Sorry, yeah. Acts 4, 5, and 6 add a lot of bosses, and, like, that's a huge balance point, right? There is something about like 1.0 being like a completely blind reveal of all those acts or something. That's really cool, right? Heads up, Troy. I don't know, like, I have watched so many companies do these dev interviews, and, like, I like Jonathan more than any other game director I've ever seen. Like, I do not understand the negative thoughts towards Jonathan. Like, I think these people have spent too much time only playing PoE 1 and not interacting with other game development companies. Like, I don't know. I think Jonathan is perfect. He should never change. I think he should be more aggro to these shithead players. Like, every time that Jonathan, like, puts his foot down and argues with Ziz, fuck yeah. Like, Ziz says some of the silliest stuff sometimes. Like, these hardcore blasters have such a skewed perspective. And, like, Jonathan refuses to just be like, oh, okay, you're right. Like, no, he's like, you're not seeing it the whole perspective. You only see it from, like, I love that Jonathan makes the, like, fights. Like, that's how he should be. These people that are asking questions are only looking at it from one perspective, and Jonathan's job is to look at it from every perspective. The casuals, the average players, not just the people who are playing the most niche game mode, which is hardcore solo self-found, right? Like, I love that Jonathan doesn't just, like, say one thing. Like, he'll argue and argue and argue, because that's, like, his job, like. But he's also just trying to understand why the player thinks this way, you know? It's good to see both of it, right? Like, I thought the tone was a little unprofessional at times, and that's stupid coming from me because I can be very unprofessional in my tone. But other than that, like, I love that Ziz was like, I want my questions answered, and I love that Jonathan was like, refusing to back down to the pro player. Like, he was fighting for what he thought was right, and which was probably right, because again, you have to design the game around everyone, not just the, you know, 1%ers or 1%ers, but I don't know. And yeah, like, I don't know, Mark is the perfect foil to Jonathan. Like, you could not have one without the other, right? Like, they are the perfect 1-2 punch. If it was only Jonathan, like, well, Jonathan does pretty good on those only Jonathan interviews, too. There's plenty of only Jonathan interviews out there. I don't know if Mark would be good on his own. Maybe, though. I don't know. I think they're just awesome. But I'm a long-time Blizzard gamer. And anytime I watch doesn't matter which Blizzard game it is, anytime you watch any developer interview from a Blizzard game, it is always like walking away either half angry or full angry. And, like, yeah, it's just pure transparency from GGG. As also someone who's worked directly with Blizzard, with all the NDAs, and, like, anytime we had to, like, do interviews with GG, or with Blizzard devs, it was, like, sending a full list of curated questions beforehand and stuff. Like, the GGG devs are just, like, raw, taking everything in at the moment, like, unscripted, like, and they're not blowing it. It's clear they play the game. I don't know. They're badass. Oh yeah, I could never imagine managing a project the size of PoE 1 or PoE 2. Like, it's like, people make fun of them because of, like, how fucked up their timelines got, like, with them dropping the ball with, like, I think everyone agrees that, in retrospect, going this long without a PoE 1 patch was a bad call, right? Like, in retrospect, now that we've seen where we're at now, it's a bad call. But Jonathan said going into it, he did that big apology video, right? Where he said he did not think he would need the PoE 1 team on PoE 2 for as long as he did, right? Like, they just overestimated the scope of this game insanely, right? He even said it in an interview. If he could go back in time, he wouldn't have taken the PoE 1 people off of that game, right? You know, the PoE 2 scope is so comically big that, like, again, I don't fault them for underestimating their scope and their timelines, because, yeah, how are you supposed to predict that shit? What are you talking about, Surge? Did I miss a message you posted? I guess I missed a message you posted in chat. I only see the one message you posted. It might have gotten deleted because he posted something stupid. Based off your guys' reactions, I'm just going to ban him. Okay. I disagree with both of those points, Troy. But that's fine. I don't think the game development company should ever consider streamers and their livelihoods. A streamer should always be thinking, if the streamer is not prepared for the game they are playing to completely die tomorrow, that is on the streamer. Period. If you are depending on a game development company for your livelihood as a streamer, that is your fault as a streamer. That means you weren't thinking too far ahead. That is just a weird gamble you played. So I haven't, like, any streamer who is upset that their livelihood has been impacted by a game development company doing what they're doing as a, like, that is just, like, I can't even pretend to defend that. Like, I'm a streamer too. Like, GGG could get in a lawsuit tomorrow that completely stops all their game development and both games disappear. Oh, like, then what, like, you have to, like, just accept that it is just completely out of your control. I think a lot of PoE players have seriously developed a very weird parasocial relationship with GGG. They say things like this stuff where, like, GGG has been too reliant on streamers collecting data from the public. Like, what do you mean by that? Every single live service game uses their player-driven data to, like, develop their games. Like, that is every single game. Not a single game out there isn't reliant on streamers collecting data. That is the gaming industry as a whole. Like, that is, like, you would be foolish to not incorporate your player base and streamers into your development process, and especially in a game like PoE 2. So, like, to say they were too reliant on streamers, that's just, like, I don't know what you mean by that, because that is literally every live service game on the planet right now. If you're not like, the streamers, like, it's a symbiotic relationship, but, like, to think that GGG, like, owes anything to the streamers is super weird. That's, like, a very egotistical thing for a streamer to think. And definitely weirder for the community to think for the streamer. Because this could all end tomorrow. This could all be done, like, who knows what happens? Like, what if PoE 2 actually ends up being the worst game of all time? Everyone who's investing heavily into PoE 2, like, okay, there goes your career, but, like, that's something you have to be prepared for as a streamer, right? Like, that is, what streaming is. Like, it is a very volatile market. You should not be expecting GGG to be developing their game or their business around a streamer's livelihood. Because 99% of their player base doesn't even fucking watch streamers. Most of their player base has nothing to do with streaming at all. I think a lot of people tend to think that the streamer player base is the majority of it, which is just so far from true. Even for PoE 1, for any game, like, most people do not watch streams. Like, it's really cool that GGG has developed this relationship with their players, but, like, players have taken it to, like, a weird level where it's, like, instead of it being... It went beyond appreciation to now it's, like, you're in an abusive relationship, almost. Like, now the players expect too much from GGG. They want too much from GGG, and, like, it's really weird. I've drank Dr. Pepper my entire life, but I would never be upset that Dr. Pepper, like, started making products not for me or something, right? Like, doesn't matter how many surveys I answered over my life, like, for Dr. Pepper, right? Like, oop, there's that first death in maps. I haven't upgraded my gear yet. And Breach is really hard for Bonestorm, to be honest. Especially without Wind Dancer. Yeah, we just roll in the maps without upgrading gear. But yeah, I don't know. Especially when you consider that a large amount of the streamers, they're like a niche of a niche. You know, not every streamer is a Mouthful, right? Like, Mouthful is probably like one of the more... He's really good, so I wouldn't say he's like relatable in the sense that like a lot of people can play as good as him. But like... he plays the game closer to your average player does, right? Versus, like, a lot of these popular streamers, like, if you play solo Self-Found, you are in the minority of minorities. If you play hardcore solo Self-Found, you are in the extra minority of minorities, like... But, those player bases tend to think and talk like they are not the minority of a minority. Which is a random side discussion, but... Streamers who do those things are even smaller of a minority of minorities, so for GGD to even consider those people is weird. If Dr. Pepper was unavailable for months, then I would move on with my life. Again, it's a really weird parasocial relationship that has been developed with a company. Now, I get that people are sad that PoE 1's gone, but... I don't know, have you ever, like... Have you not ever experienced a game before that you stopped enjoying it, so then you stopped playing it? Like... I don't know. I find it really hard to defend this addiction. And a lot of the like, again, I'm not saying people shouldn't be upset, but like the volatility around it and stuff is really weird. It's like... these people think because they spent money on supporter packs, they own stock in the company, and they're investors and whatnot. Like, you're not.
Time is of the essence.
You're just a guy who bought a product, and you got too emotionally invested in it. If after that addiction gets taken away, basic, you're like having a meltdown, like, oh god, my PoE one's gone, what am I gonna do? Like, that would make it the addiction, right? Is when you're having a meltdown once that thing is gone. That's how you're addicted, right? When it gets taken away, you lose control. That's the addiction portion. That's where you're missing what I'm talking about here. If the game's gone and you're like, well, I wish it was back, but okay, it'll be back when it's back. Well, I'm not, yeah, well, like, listen to the context of the story, or what we're talking about, basic. I'm not talking about the 95% of people that are just bummed out. We're talking about the dweebs that are losing their mind. We're talking about, you know, the angry silly people. All good, man. I also get heated when I'm talking about it, so I'm a little bit snippy when I'm talking about it. So, but I completely agree that the PoE 1 players who are upset that the game is gone, like, that fucking sucks. But like, I don't know. I feel like after they, like, GGG said they would, if, like, after GGG said if they could go back in time and redo it, like, they admitted that this was a mistake, right? And that they could go back. They would never have taken the PoE 1 team off of PoE 1. I feel like that is where you're like, you make peace with it, right? You go, okay, everyone realizes it was a mistake. Now we just have to wait it out until the next PoE 1 rig, right? I think that moment is when everyone just needs to cool down, right? And I feel like that moment, it made people angrier. And that's where my confusion comes with. Like, the moment Jonathan was like, yes, we fucked up. I should have never taken those people off of PoE 1. To me, that should have calmed more heads, right? That's like an admission of guilt. Like, that is the ultimate admission of guilt. I made a mistake. We should have never done this. I'm sorry. Like, I thought that was an awesome moment from them. Like, the level of transparency you get from GGG is not something you get from other game companies. Fair point. What I meant is GGG will consult with the bigger streamers or more loyal streamers. Yeah, I don't know. There's something about those interviews that I've always just found really weird. Because, like, what you said about how, like, the interviewers will grab questions from their viewer base, like, it makes the flow of those interviews all over the place to me. Because, like, you'll have one moment where the question is being asked by the streamer, and it'll be, like, a high-level question, and then you're right, the next question will be some chat-grabbed question, and it'll be much more, like, low-balled, and... those interviews are definitely all over the place. It doesn't help. But I agree. Like, yes, the problem yes, they do go to those high-level players for feedback often, especially through those interviews. PoE 2 doesn't feel like an early access. To me, it does. To me, it does. Like, I think I get what people mean when they say that. It doesn't look visually like an early access game. But, like, if you're actively playing it, like, if you've played PoE 2 in 0.1, and then you felt all of the changes from 0.1 to 0.2, and how chaotic that felt, that is a true early access game experience. Like, the volatility, the balance shift from 0.1 to 0.2 was so fucking crazy. Everything got changed across the board And a lot of it was for bad, too. Like, this, like, how shaky this patch was like, okay, this made me feel like the bones of the game might be solid, but the balance and, like, a lot of the meat is very early access. Like, it is like like, it's really just bones. So it didn't feel like early access to me initially, but once we got 0.2 and it was like, whoa, this is what a balance patch looks like, and everything kind of broke more. Like, it wasn't like 0.2 was a straight step up. It was a step to the side, right? We got a bunch of new stuff, but, like, it didn't really... A lot of stuff didn't really get upgraded. It was just a new game within the patch, almost. So it's like... 0.2 made me realize how early access this game is. I have a completely different stance on the Zizaran interview. But I really dislike most of those interviews, to be honest. But I could not watch the Zizaran interview. I had to watch the Rax recap. I honestly don't think the Zizaran interview was as impactful as people make it out to be. Like, a majority of the changes that came in that patch were already in the pipeline. I feel like Zizaran and his, like, not Zizaran, excuse me, the community and his, like, the community, not Zizaran, like, was really rubbing themselves too hard to that interview. I legit could not make it through the Zizaran interview, though. I watched, like, Zizaran, it was opening to that interview was, like, I've watched a lot of developer interviews. I have never seen a more unprofessional tone from the interviewee, or the interviewer, than from that Zizaran interview. Like, I understand there's a reason to be aggressive, but Zizaran was just rude. And I heard that everyone calmed down at some point, but I found that entire interview from Zizaran very off-putting. I could not watch it. I had to watch the Rax recap. I saw, like, a lot of the questions he asked were good, but I don't know, man. I just could not get through the tone was just so unprofessional to me. I heard that, like, and what was weird to me was the community reaction was like, I can't believe Jonathan got emotional and angry. Like, are you kidding me? If someone opened an interview that way, saying everyone hates my game, which isn't true, that's not exactly what Zizaran said. I think Zizaran's exact words were like, most people are pretty upset right now, which I don't think was it's just such a weird way to open an interview. And then the next three the questions were super passive aggressive. Like, if you're talking about my baby that I've been working on for years, and you're just like, and we're already upset, and then you're opening up like that, like, yeah, Jonathan is going to get tilted. But for the community to be like, I can't believe Jonathan got upset, but at the same time, they're rubbing their nipples going, oh, Zizaran, you're so good. Like, the whole reception to me was very, like, I hated it. I really hated it. It was so backwards to me. The fact that they were against Jonathan getting upset, but they were excited that Zizaran was being so aggro. Like, again, I think it's good that Zizaran was pushy with his questions, and that he was, like, trying to, like, and all the questions I watched the whole Rax recap. All the questions were good. It was just that initial tone, and then the community reaction to me was just really weird. But again, my biggest problem with those player interviews aren't the tone or whatever. It's just the questions being asked. I think PoE blasters ask not the wrong questions, but not the questions I care about. A lot of the questions are like questions that, like, we know the answer to, you know? The good things that get pointed out are, like, when they point out a problem with the game, and then the developers are like, we didn't know this, and then that gets changed in the next patch, right? But a lot of it is just, like, complaining about the state of trade, and then the developers are like, yeah, we have trade stuff coming, and then they're like, oh, okay, what's coming? And they're like, well, we can't talk about it. Like, you know, it's just a lot of the questions get wasted on re-asking the same high-level questions that get answered by saying, it's coming in the next patch. or, you know, like, asking these generic questions like, why is the balance so bad? It's like, you know, how many times do I need to hear Mark say, well, in the next patch, half the bugs are going to be fixed. And in the next patch after that, half the bugs are going to be fixed. And eventually there won't be bugs, right? Like, you know, it just gets silly. But yeah. I don't want to turn it into a weird thing. Because I don't want it to make it seem like I don't like Zizaran and I don't like that community of players or anything, because I've played hardcore solo self-found before. Like, I'm not against it. But yeah, that interview was just really awkward to me. I couldn't watch it. They calmed down. Yeah, I didn't watch the whole thing. They calmed down after Jonathan apologized for being too uppity, but he was just returning Ziz's energy. That's what I would assume. Like, I didn't see it all go down. Yeah, the loot changes were really bad. I feel like if 0.2 launched how it is right now, like, the balance is still awkward. I really wish they went back to weekly meta balance patches for, like, skill balance and stuff. But the loot feels so much better right now. If 0.2 launched like it is right now, I think the reception would be a lot different, you know? I feel like this patch is in a good spot. Not in a good spot. That's the wrong word. What's the word I want to use? I don't know. Like, it's a lot more rewarding to grind the end game. Like, this is what it should have been in 0.1, I feel. Like, because 0.1, the rarity rates and stuff were too overtuned, right? This feels good. I don't know. It's like what it should be. Like, getting around 100 or so rarity. And you can just do a farm. And you have a chance to see divines and stuff now. Like, oh, am I dead? I'm frozen. Rip. Yeah, I need to fix my reses. I was supposed to go shopping after that rant, and then I went into a map. Also kind of underleveled. I have to be very careful with how I phrase stuff, because I don't want it to ever seem like I'm shitting on the streamer themselves. I want to be very clear here. Every single streamer and creator that I have interacted with in PoE has been an amazing person. A lot of them have reached out to me. A lot of them say nice things to me. Like, anytime I've wanted to, like, talk to one of them, they're very receptive. Like, oh my god, I'm frozen and dead. Yep. I gotta fix my gear. I can't just dive into these juicer maps. Yeah, my reses are bad. I just kind of, like, brain off, went straight into maps. But, yeah, no, I seriously, like, you get people in your comments, like, I get people that, like, accuse me of stealing builds from, like, Malthul and stuff, right? And, like, I know for a fact, right? You can ask whatever you want, sup. I might not answer it, but you can ask. But, like, you know, Malthul is never going to accuse anyone of stealing someone's build, right? Like, that guy doesn't give a fuck. Like, he seems like the coolest dude on the planet, right? But he's got weird viewers that go around doing that shit, right? Like, it's the viewers that are weird. It's not the crit streamers. Absolutely. I agree. Like, Ziz, it's not Ziz at all. And it's not even most of Ziz's viewers, right? It is a very specific section of his viewers, right? And any other of the streamers. Ooh, big damage. Yeah, I gotta fix my gear. I mean, there are things he said that I've disagreed with, like the whole movement speed thing. I just, like, I don't understand that discussion at all. Like, the idea that no mob should be faster than the player is really puzzling to me. So that you know. But I think that's just like a hardcore solo self-found issue. You know, I'm not afraid to die. I play the game differently. But I've never thought that like a mob was too fast in this game at any point. Some mobs are just fast, right? Like, some mobs are just fast. That's just how it goes. Like, what are we talking about? Some mobs just go fucking quick. And some mobs are slow. Some are zombies, you know, that take one step at a time. The current patch is a good neutral spot. I agree, Choi. Let's see if I can even handle this mob. Oh, I'm frozen because I'm dead. No, 'cause I'm frozen. Got that backwards. I tried to look at chat. I'm gonna blame y'all. Yeah, I'm gonna have to upgrade my gear and my damage. Wasn't able to just walk in the maps with this build. Well, I kind of was able to. I don't have a freeze charm. Like I said, I gotta go buy gear. Need to buy a lot of stuff. Yeah. I vendored all of the charms I had in my stash like a couple days before they announced that the flask tab was going to be getting the charms in them, and I just don't happen to have any of the charms I wanted. That's why I just got these weird. I got a belt with 3 charms right now, and I just got this random trash in it because these were the charms that I had. Yeah, I just haven't stopped to shop, but you know, I've just been leveling. I hate trading on stream. It makes me anxious if I'm just like sitting here whispering people for like 30 minutes. Oh my god, this rare just won't give up. There we go. It really is. Like, it's not just about quality of life. It's an active defensive layer, like you said. Oh, yeah, I gotta stop playing Bonestorm like this. I don't even think I can do that, Breach. Yeah, my gear is just not good enough to be just brain off when I'm playing. It's pretty funny how I went from, like, it being so brain off in the campaign to, like, I actually have to upgrade my gear now. There's no way I'm doing that, Breach. Yeah, I hate trading on stream. In general, like if I'm like, I get really I don't know if anxious is the right word when I'm streaming, but like I don't know. I feel like if I'm wasting your guys' time and my time, then I should just go offline and stop streaming, right? No, I don't want to be carried through maps. Yeah, conscious is the right word. Yeah, I know, like, I've talked to a lot of my new streamer friends, and they tell me I overthink it a lot, well, like, because, like, a lot of streamers, they'll, like, just straight up, like, sit there eating with their mic muted and, like, watch videos and stuff for, like, over an hour. Like, I feel like if I'm not talking to you guys for, like, more than a minute or two, then, like, I'm not being entertaining enough. I'm not, like, yeah. And trading is, like, peak boring content for you guys. Like, I don't ever, like, anytime I stream, I usually try and trade right before my stream and get everything I would want done before my stream, because, like, yeah, I just, like, overthink that too much and just feel like it's a waste of my time and yours, which is not the case, obviously. It's just me overthinking it. Offline mode possible for PoE 2? I doubt it. Offline modes are very rare in live service games nowadays. Oh yeah, I know I'm definitely overthinking it, but it'll just be a practice thing. I like the YouTube aspect of stuff, but streaming is still, there's a lot of things going on with streaming, like, with YouTube videos, right, you just, like, you make the edit, you post it, and then you're done, right? Like, that's it. Like, you just post the video, and that video has, like, a lifetime of, like, 24 to 48 hours, and then, like, it's a flash in the past, you don't think about it anymore. But streaming is, like, this constant, in the moment, but also, like... Oh, I'm dead? Yeah. Keep getting frozen. That 20% cold res. You're more active on YouTube? With YouTube, I mean, I put, like, I multi-stream on YouTube and Twitch. Like, I'm live on both right now. But I mainly like making YouTube videos. Like, I love making YouTube videos. I like writing a script and editing it and stuff. I do not consider myself a streamer. And I never would want to, like, become a streamer. Streaming is just something I do for fun. Or not for fun, even. I don't even know why I stream. My YouTube's called KallTorak. You should put chat on stream, so... I did at one point, but because... So, I like to use the footage I make from my stream in my videos. My YouTube videos. And I hate the way the YouTube chat looks in those videos. If that makes sense. Like, I know that you guys want to see both, and I get that, but, like... Rip. For the VOD, the recording for my videos, I just don't like the chat scrolling. It, like, takes up so much space on the screen. It just makes the video, like, less appealing from a production standpoint. If that makes sense. But I wasn't actually recording footage for this stream. Like, I'm not even recording right now, so... For a stream like this, I could have had the chat on. So it's a fair point, then. Yeah, my YouTube's called KallTorak. I don't even think I have the YouTube set up on my Twitch channel. I need to, like, get all that set up. But all my new PoE streamers have been telling me I need to start streaming more, so... I don't know what kind of schedule I'm gonna have. I think I might just do a schedule where, like... I stream at one day a week at a very specific time. that's just like, you can always expect me like Friday night at this time or something. So there's at least one day a week I'm guaranteed to stream. And then there's a couple days in where I just randomly stream. But I need to start off with at least one scheduled day. Why are you maps in 30 spirit? Why are you in maps with over 30 spirit, Michael? Have you ever asked yourself that? Huh? Huh? You tell me. You tell me why you have so much spirit, man. Huh? Huh? Have you ever thought that you have too much spirit, man?
Go.
Ooh, nice. It's not part of the build. I was just speedrunning through the campaign and I skipped the Bog Witch both times. It was just me going through the campaign too fast. There's a bunch of side stuff in the campaign I skipped that I still need to go back and get. I just, like I said, I don't like shopping on stream. I was supposed to end the stream when I finished the campaign, and I was supposed to end the stream an hour ago, and I've just been talking to you guys streaming, so. I do overthink a lot, yeah. I'm autistic. I get in my head a lot. I have Asperger's, so I overthink way too much. It's a very big flaw I have. Like, I made that episode 3 of Off the Meta, and, like, I took it down 24 hours later because, like, I overthink it too much. Like, I just do that. It's a flaw. Yeah, it's almost 4 a.m., so I'm gonna call it there, boys. I'll be streaming maybe tomorrow or the next day. More of the Bonestorm character. It's just a little too late. I'm pretty tired. Yeah, dude. Listen, my stashes are, yeah. And look at it, like, a lot of it's jewels that I haven't even identified that, like, I don't want to sell because what if these jewels are good? But I just haven't stopped to identify them. Ugh. I have problems. Yeah, I'm gonna call it there though, guys. I'm super tired. I will probably be live. Actually, I don't know if I'll be live tomorrow because I have raid on WoW, but maybe the day after. But yeah, you guys have a good one. Thanks for hanging out, everybody.